Hi guys, welcome back. Tom Anderson here with Alexander Art. Today we got daylilies. I'm going to take a little bit of my medium over here, pick it up, drop it down on the palette, and I'm going to use a little alizarin just to sketch out the lilies that I have this reference guide over here. So let's get the idea of it with red first. Like it, when I come back, this is also just a white canvas with doesn't have any white on it. It's just a dry gesso in there. Look, we're just looking at the shape here. Everything comes down right there. So just want to get the basic idea without overthinking it. And there's a reason why I'm using red. Even though it may not look like there's a reason, there is. So that's basically the shape right here. That's all you want right now. A little bit more medium, a little more alizarin. And let's look at this one over here. So I'll drop this one a little lower. It just might look aesthetically better. So I'm going to go this way. Think about a V shape here. Just get in with your red is a very forgiving color. So if you use red, you can do a lot of things with red because it is so forgiving. Now I'll crowd this up a little bit right there. Maybe bring this up this way and up here and out like that. Spray it out like that. Probably want a little one up here somewhere, just a little one. Get looser with it. That'll be in the background. And then we'll have a bunch of this long grass going up. So we'll draw this down like a stem here. And there's some offshoots off to the side. Let's get a little more red. Now, if you have a problem drawing this, just take your time with it. Don't rush it. Just get it in there and it'll happen. Let's put some more back here just to find shapes. Just look at shapes. Okay, that's good enough for now. All right, now we're going to pick up, let's grab this bigger brush right here. And I'm going to take a little bit more medium. This time I dipped into the bit medium with this brush. And I'm going to grab a little bit more alizarin. Now there's a reason why I'm grabbing the alizarin, because even though I want it to look more blue, if I don't put the alizarin in, what's going to happen is once I hit that yellow, it's going to turn green. So that's the reason why I'm grabbing that alizarin in there. And that's the reason why I started with the red. So I'll go around here like this. I'll build up on this. There's no paint here. I just want to get this in like that, real deep. Get more blue. And remember, you're going in here again. A little bit more alizarin. If you put just a little alizarin in, it'll give you almost a ultramarine color. If you get too much red in, it'll start looking violet. So it just depends on how you're trying to do it. So just surround this area, all this dark. Now, could I have painted the background black? Yep, could have done that, and then just gone to the yellow. A little bit more alizarin, a little more blue. We're just going to surround all this with dark, and then we'll get close to it. We don't have to touch anything as far as the flower goes. Just get very close to it. I just want to try to get it in, and then just a little bit more of this. So just abstract, you guys. Think of abstract shapes. Just don't even worry about it. Make everything look like a ton. Get a little more pigment this time. Started off slow because I wasn't exactly sure how much I wanted to grab. Sometimes you don't know how much you want to grab as far as the paint goes. Sometimes you just got to be a little more cautious than underly cautious. I know you hear a lot of people say, just throw it in, just do that. I'm going to say, this is going to be a Tomism. I'm going to say, be a little bit more cautious than overly rambunctious, okay? Because if you do that, then you're going backwards a little bit. I got a little more blue up here. Probably want to be just a little bit more cautious here than overly rambunctious about it. All right, so we're very close to getting this background in. I know it looks turbulent right now, but you can blend it too like this. Blend it all down with an X stroke like that. That'll soften it down. I just started with red for a reason. You'll see when I get to it. Just do this X stroke. See this? Down and over, down and over. Flip the brush, down and over, down and over. Yeah, I used to hear a lot of people say, just throw that in, do this. That's good. Bill said fire in the sky because you got to get the paint up there. But at the same time, when you got to the mountains, you slow everything down a little bit. A little bit more red, alizarin, a little bit more of the phthalo blue. Just put it down here. Get this background. And I know that's much darker on the photo. And we can always add more dark, but at least if I get something up here today, you can always add more dark very slowly to really deepen it. Or you can make it a little more pastel in the background. You can add white to it, make it more gentle, but you still got a deeper color. All right. The medium I'm using is Magic Clear and going in really nice. All right, we got a lot of things going on here. Now, let's pick up our foliage brush, pick it up, let's drop it off to the side, add some yellow right here. And you probably don't really want to touch that right there. Let's just go into this flower now and map it in. Just kind of get it deep in here. And we'll get into the detail of it later. Now I'm hitting some of that red. Do you see that? And there I go again saying, do you see that? We'll have to get in and do some more design on it. We just want to get it in though. A little more medium, a little more yellow right down here. I could pick up my palette knife and just drop a lot of yellow right there. So let's just go for it. Now, 1 minute I'm saying be careful, and the next minute I'm saying go for it. It just doesn't make sense, does it? Now, if you get a little bit of a green tone in there, it's natural. It's in there anyhow. I see some of it in nature. That's the way it's going to go. So you're just trying to get shapes here. Look. See? Hold it down like that, and just tones. Okay, more yellow down here. And let's do the bigger ones first. So let's get this in. I don't know what I'm going to do there. But see, I hit some of that blue, but it didn't hurt too much. That one's a little bit broader right there. I got a little green in there. That's okay. If I didn't have that red, it would be really green. Red is there to keep the green from turning, red is there to keep the yellow from turning green. And look, if I touch a lot of it, it's going to turn green. See that? But it's actually in the flower just a little bit. So don't panic. I use the red to get to that, to get it in quickly. There's a little bit of green. That doesn't matter. You got to balance it because there's going to be green in the background. So this is to keep it from all turning green. Let's put it that way. You don't want everything to turn green. Lilies. Lilies. More yellow. Pull that in like this. Then this one hangs down. Like so. Now, here's another thing you guys can do. As long as I'm into mapping this right now, you can put a little bit of rosemary oil in your medium, your Magic Clear, if you're not allergic to it, because some people are allergic to certain things. But if it doesn't bother you, it'll act like mineral spirits, and it'll help you get the paint down deeper. So that's a little tip for you. You can buy it at a health food store. Let me show you what it looks like. This will act like mineral spirits. It even wipe the paint off if you make major mistakes. So I'll just stop for a second just to show you what it looks like. You just get I'll put it on the palette here so you can see it. Just buy some rosemary oil. Put a few, like six drops in your medium, It has a kind of a smell, but it's actually non-toxic. And what you can do with that is it'll be like a combination of mineral spirits in your paint. So this is a good tip for you. That would be the tip of the morning for you. So that way you get a nice oxidizing properties. Let me add a little bit of permanent red to that. I think that's a good tip for you guys. Instead of going to mineral spirits, just go to the rosemary oil. That's going to be your best bet. So what I'm doing with the permanent red now is I'm just throwing some deeper tones in because you're going to need that. And I'm just looking at where they're located. It seems to be located in certain spots on the flower. Okay, you just look for light and dark. If you look over here, there's a nice big area of it right there. It's darker. You need all these different shades of light and dark. And then you can come around the flower and improvise on that a little later. Just pick up a little more permanent red, drop it in. And how about down here where it's deeper and towards the middle? Now, if you want to go even deeper, you have to add some alizarin crimson would be a deeper color. All right, this is the basic map for what we need to do. Now what I'm going to do is go back to that small brush I used to have, and I'm going to pick up this blue, and I'm going to work around the flower to surround it so it doesn't look so wild and crazy. Okay, I'm leaving this other thing here. A little more alizarin into that. Get around it. See, you can go back and make it deeper look. See how that works? Let's add a little more blue in here. Get it bluer down here if you want. You don't have to worry about this bottom area too much or think about it. Just using medium and your rosemary, add it to the magic clear as a fast oxidizer, giving you that idea that mineral spirits would do the same thing. See, it's already feeling dry. It didn't even take that long, but it already feels like it. All right, a little bit more medium though. Dip in once in a while. Pick this up. Going bluer. I'm just trying to keep my image here. Okay. Work this in. You'll notice if you ever watch people painting, that a lot of times they have to surround their flowers with some kind of dark, whether it's leaves or whatever it is. You still got to surround the flower to project the flower more forward. And sometimes it's soft and not noticeable. Could be just like extra leaves in between, like in a bouquet kind of a style. You just add in deeper tones around it. So grab a smaller brush to do that. Now we have to improvise on this. We have to make it look a little more dramatic. Keep getting just alizarin crimson and blue. And I'm just going to go around this because all the colors project more. Like the way that's underneath there. Like that. Down here. That. And this has a little angle that way, which I didn't do, but I'll just do that. See? Just redraw things. If it looks a little green, don't worry about it. We're getting a good design now, right? A good design. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. Okay, so I'm getting close to this. I don't have to be right on it. You might want to do a wipeout business in a minute. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I just chose this method today. I could have done it in a whole different way. And let's just bring this out. A series of paintings. I'm trying to bring the paintings that are more, I guess, not so complicated with the overlapping business where the flowers tend to overlap. We're going to throw a few in there. They're going to get in there, but these are more forgiving, and I'm looking for the most simple things to do, I think. A daisy would be very simple. People have done enough daisies, they're probably tired of them. All right, so let's see. I do want to get more dark over here. Now I'm just going to grab a lot of blue. Just on my brush, drop it in there, get more dark in like that. Just lay it in. I have to get to the light in a second. So I'm trying to get to this part first. And then I'll do a lot of cover-up stuff. More blue, more phthalo blue. I'm going to get way over here now. Really get this in. Even back in there again, back there. See, pull this down. More blue. Really get into it now. And all the paint's sticking really well to the canvas. And then up here, I'll have to improvise, do stuff right there. But I just want to get that in. More blue. One more time, you guys. Hang in there. Light blue is beautiful. Phthalo blue is a beautiful color. All right, we're getting there. And then we can soften it if you want. We can go in with a little white or something. Or if you want to just put a blue background on with acrylic, but I would draw out your flowers first so they stay more vivid. So let's get a few grasses in before we move on to the flower. And they're like long leaves. They look like grass, but they're actually long leaves. Okay, I'm going to pick up yellow and drop it right in here. And it looks like I got green already. A touch of white. These are leaves, but they really look like long grasses. So let's get some back here on that blue like that. Okay, they're spraying out all over the place. They're surrounded by a bunch of them. So just white and yellow into that blue that you have in the background will make these grasses for you. Or I say grass leaves. They're just long. You think of a leaf as being very small and broad, but this is different, isn't it? These are long leaves. And that would have confused me because they really do look like leaves. Crisscross and do this stuff, you guys. Some of them might be hanging down like this, like making an arch like that. Pull in, go this way, go over one. I got to fill that in. Okay, and there's a bunch of them. They're all in here. Like that. Go that way. Just do something different. Sometimes you don't even have to load up. Maybe even grab a little orange with it. Because look, anything that's on there is going to be reflecting in here somehow. I need to scoop up a little more of that. See, there's a little bit of that in there. All right. Just all over, guys. Just keep filling them in like this. Look. Put some dark ones back here. See, I'm surrounding it with these. Yellow back down here. And let's see what we can do there. Maybe one's going like that. Just do something different. Make it up as you go. Maybe one's going this way, down that way. Crowd in some more. Okay, they're all over the place. Put that painting inside the leafy area. Put the painting in there. Just keep doing that. Just keep making sprays of it. Now some of them, if they get closer, they're going to be bigger. And you might even have a big one going like this out of the page like that. Look, behind this. You don't even know where it came from. Just keep doing this stuff. All right, we're going to stop right there. Back off, look at it, grabbing a paper towel. I'm going to grab some yellow. I wiped it off, grab some yellow, red, drop it here, a little bit of alizarin. Don't worry about the colors, just so you're getting multiple colors on. See that? That's part of the bud. So you pick up the paint, the yellow, you drop it in and you don't mix it. Look at my brush. If you mix it too, you're not going to get it as good as if you just lay it in like this. Look, and let it just happen like that. There you go. And then maybe a little extra light right there. Stop right there, leave it alone. Now you got to make a darker color. So if you add alizarin to that green, you should get a brown, deeper brown. You may have to add a little bit more yellow to it. And that will get that green in there though. Yeah, there, pull some of the blue in with it. That gets darker. Okay, a little bit more alizarin now. See, I'm getting a brown, something like a brown, right? And now some of this is up against here, like that. I think I'm going to go darker. So I'm going to grab a little bit, to cut to the chase, I'll just, listen, violet gets everything going. Now I got a deeper brown. Do you see what just happened? Violet gets right into it and you don't even have to think about it. There, see, that just got me there quicker. Now I got to have all this stuff in here before I actually start thinking about the actual light on the plant. So you're going to pull a little bit of this up in, melt it in there, blend it a little bit if you want. See, you can do that. You can put little streaks of this color in too, because that's helpful. That makes part of the whole image. You see what I'm doing there? You could even go up here a little bit with this color. And maybe deepen this just a little bit. I like these popping in, but I'm not probably going to be able to get those. But you can come back with this sort of color you made and just get these deeper tones in. Just draw them out. Now this one I like because it goes like this, like that, and there's a shadow underneath it. So you use this color now to create that little bend there. When we get to the light, you'll see it. So I got that going. I need a little more here. So I've got three colors generally inside the petals. Here's a nice move, watch. Put that in before you get to the light. Before you get to the light, draw that out. Get a little bit of this in. Pull that way. And you get the leaf is gonna, the petal is gonna roll over that way. So you gotta look for these tones, you guys. Look for these tones before you get to the light. And then just change things up as you go. And I'm looking around, let's see, this guy back here, it's a big one in that. Don't worry about it. Get that one in. You'll have to get to the light. Now, if you think you get too much paint up there, just rub it off. You're gonna see a lot of artists rubbing their paint off and softening the edges of everything. That's a normal thing in art. Which way are we trying to make the light come in? I'm thinking from the left. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this down here, and I'm going to go back down to these stems and just draw the light in like that. Down like this, and down like that. A little bit more. And let's see, I didn't even get this one in, so I'll just do this. Now, let's see, I'm going to take a better look at this. Aha, I see something. How about a little bit of phthalo blue? And notice I'm trying to avoid the phthalo green today. Did you see that? Put this dark in, and there's a leaf right on this. Just lay that in like that. Okay? And then get up in here and get the dark in like this. Just find the dark. It's much deeper, so I'm going to add more violet. Find the dark. If you can't see the dark, squint your eyes. That's always a good thing to do. And that'll get a little dark on this side. There, see that? We're dealing with a lot of shades of color here. Maybe I'll do that just to hide that little part that I'll put another leaf on there, even though it's not there. And this one I probably want to just bury down into here. Maybe I'll go that way because it's in the distance. Pull some more of these out, blend them if you have to, or if you want to. You don't have to do anything. Maybe deeper ones in shadow. Use the same color. Highlight a few of those grass. I keep saying grasses, but they're actually long leaves that look like grass. Maybe highlight a few of them like this. Maybe we'll bury that one, put it over there. I want to get to the flower in a second, guys. I'm adding a little white. And let's put something here. Get a little more lit up. Up there. Those are long leaves that look like grass. Could have fooled me. I'm gonna grab some white, drop it down here. And yellow, drop it in. Now that looks pretty yellow, right? But now if you're painting wet in the wet, sometimes it's hard to get the light on just with on wet paint. So I'll start here just to give you a clue. If this goes on right now, I'll be shocked. Looks like it is going on well. But now you're going to hit that dark and that's going to change it on you. Now, here's what else you could do, right? You can take your art wipe, a clean one. You can come back wherever you see the yellow, it's brightest. You can come in like this and take this paint off just like that, only where you see the brightness. So yellow and white. So I just wipe that out. So when I put this on, watch, I get a nice light area that stays there as long as I don't keep going back up into it. And then pull in. Now you probably want to keep wiping your brush. So yellow and white. Keep adding a little white all the time. Now this one has a little ridge here, so just touch it, go around this way real soft, and then you can lay it in a little thicker and turn your brush and come in like that. Good, huh? See? That looks nice, huh? Do I want to keep doing these? Probably wipe it out a little bit because you're hitting that blue anyhow. So draw it out a little bit with your finger and an art wipe, which is basically a baby wipe, and just pull in, leaving those other tones there, and hit your light. And then just keep wiping your brush. If you don't do this, and the more you keep going, the less the white will stay on there. Maybe I want to add a little more yellow to this. So try this, guys. Try it the way I'm showing you. It stays on pretty long and pretty good. Now you can go right down the edge like that. And you can blend it in a little bit. But if I keep hitting that, watch, it's eventually going to go. And you see I'm picking up the dark? See? But if you hit it real light like that, you're good. You're good to go. So there's a lot of brush wiping going on here. So you don't see the petal here, but watch. I can draw the petal out and go very lightly with it. Just get that ridge there. And then move that art wipe so you get the little ridge. See what I did? This is fun, huh? I would think you could do this with roses too, much better and quicker. Instead of having to struggle so much, draw that in, get it in like that, pull it down, then pull away real soft like this. Now at the end here, you probably want to pull it out a little bit, loop it like that. Good. Now you got to get a yellow color underneath. So here you don't have to worry about it so much. Watch me. I got more yellow. Just keep it in the darker yellow. And you're just going to go underneath it because you're not worried about it being that light. So you're going in reverse now. Watch. Just get it in like this. And you can work right into it this way. And you're going to have what you want right there. And just pull and do it real light. And then just cut this ridge down a little bit like that. See? You see how that rolled over? I got it a little too thick, but I'm just trying to show you that's the way to get it up there. I'll grab a little more yellow and shrink it down a little bit. Just push in like that, make that ridge a little bit thinner, and then pull back down. I like that little piece of ridge sticking out right there. So you got to keep wiping the brush though. You grab yellow, drop it down here. You got to keep making paint, a little bit of white, a little bit. So I'm going to go up here now, draw that out, pull down. I got a little green in there. I'm not worried about it. There. Now see, that didn't show up as light. Do you see that? It probably looks good on camera, but I can tell you right now, it's not going to be as bright as I want it. Can I go back to this color and drop it here and get the dark back in? Yes, I can. Watch. You ready for this? I'm going underneath here and drawing the dark back underneath and back into it, because you might need that to show depth. See how that works? It got underneath that. Now this one right here, probably got to fix that because it's a little too much of an idea. There's always a little fixing going on. Okay, so here if I wipe the brush, here I can just blend it. I don't have to really do much. Just soften it down a little bit like that and pull in. You can also soften anything up here. See all that dark up here? I can soften this down and I can even wipe it out with an art wipe and turn it more yellow. Or if I want it concave, I could just leave it that way. But what I'll do is wipe it out so it looks more yellow. Because you're just trying to find all the deep dark stuff, and you probably won't put it in exact either when you first do it. That's not your job. You just go back and just do this. Get it out, leave a little bit there so you can see it, then go right back to the yellow again and put it in. Draw with your finger, wipe off the brush, get back to yellow. This is a painting where you got more yellow, so you just have to grab more yellow. And now I'll just put the yellow in. See, look, you remove the paint and you come back and do that. Because and then if you hit it too much, then you wipe it all out. Get a little bit more yellow in there. See that? There. Now, how about right here where it rolls over? Now, if you're real critical about it, you can get your art wipe and use the tip of your finger. If you don't have an art wipe, use the end of an eraser. Do that. An eraser will do it too, and then drop that down. All right, so here's what you do. You tie this back in like that, look. And you make it look a little more stylistic. Maybe that would be better. See, like that. Just do those things. All right, now, so over here I want more yellow. So I keep wiping till I get more yellow. This way you don't have to wait 2 days. And I'm just going to wipe this petal out and give a little tip here where it bends down to a little point. Bring some of that blue in like that. Yeah, that'll look good. Bring this down. Let's see. So we want to bring this in like I was thinking and bring it in that way. See, you just work right into the paint. Okay. So now, and then I actually have more yellow underneath here. This flower back here, it's in the distance and it's not really detailed. The main purpose of this painting today was to show you how to wipe your paint off so that you're not struggling to get the lights in. And that could be an issue with people. It just really could be. That's what I'm trying to do today. So now I'm just going to, I wipe the brush and I'm going to soften this now. Get it down like that. Put this down here a little bit. Maybe a little lower. It looks like a cup, like a little cup in there. Okay, these are just shapes, you guys. So let's go ahead and wipe some stuff out. And this time I won't prolong it. I was trying to do each one of them individually, but I'll just go for it now and just find the areas that are lighter because I just want to get this thing going here. This way I can get all the light in and just keep wiping my brush. So somebody probably was thinking that at home. They were watching this and saying, why doesn't he just go in and wipe all the light out at one time? Because I was trying to show the process. So here it is. Get all that light, just white showing up. You're going to be in good shape if you do this, guys. I'm really happy I could bring this one to you today. I'm going to do that. Wipe it out. Anyhow, so wipe this one out. You don't have to have the exact shape here. Just get the idea going. And let's do more of that here. So I just see the way the shapes are going in this way and down like that. And I need a little more in this way because we're picking up that light there. Little streaks in there work. You see that? Nice little streaks. But just wipe it out, guys. And what do you have here? More light. All right, so now maybe make a ridge go down like this. All right, now back to your foliage brush, the 1/4 inch, that's what I was using. I'm just going to keep getting yellow and white now. So if you get all those tones in, you can do this, load it up with white. Let's start here. Put it in, pull down, and blend right into the brownish tone. And you can soften a little bit like that if you want. The art wipe is wet. So I'm going to just grab more yellow. And I tell you that you wonder where the yellow went on this one, right? So let's start up here. Got more yellow, and you're pushing up against that. Blend down. Follow this pattern that you created and then Bill Alexander say with your almighty hand. That's what Bill would say. Follow that pattern with your almighty hand. That's what you want, guys. Let's lighten this up. I'm so glad I started with that red, because if I hadn't started with the red, guess what? Everything would be super green. But there is some green in there. There. See that? There's some green. How about a little more yellow? Now sneaking off the palette with me here. I'm going to keep it right there. Bring it in this way, and then drop it down this way. See? All these shapes and angles. That's the thing about foliage. There's a lot of shapes and angles. So you can paint this in this way. You come up like this into a little ridge right there. And it drops over and down. And there's more dark underneath there that I lost. Okay, then there's a few lines in here like this. You got these lines in there. Do you see those? I got to get this other one that I avoided. More yellow. Well, this one I really took artistic license with, but I'll just do this. Bring this in this way. Down like that. Lilies. All right, now you're going to get that one line in here that drops all the way down. Go back to your art wipe, and you're just going to do this. You're going to take your finger, you're going to drop on that edge right there, take the paint off so that it actually draws in front, gets in front of this other petal. And that way, it overlaps. You see how that works? And we're just going to follow that angle. Now, if you want to soften this, you just come in with a dry brush, or you can wipe your brush off really well and just blend things ever so lightly like this. Just go to everything you just did and just go in and hit it gently, just like this. And down here like that. It's pretty red down here, but it is in the picture too. Like that. Just touch it, go back, go real soft, as soft as you can. Flip that over. And then down here, look, just soften everything really nicely. And then when you do this, then see a little green spot right there? Got to get rid of that green. That green is mean. Just do that real soft. Let's see. I want to do that a little more. See what I did there? I changed it using the dark. I pushed it against the light. So how about over here? There's a little dark there. So I'll borrow some of this. Soften this down. Soften that down. Borrow that dark. Push it up a little more because I wasn't really done with it. I thought I was, but I really wasn't. Sometimes you think you're done and you're not. Pull that out. That one line in here, watch. I'm going to borrow this dark and get this line in here like that. There's a line that goes all the way up. So I borrowed the dark and did that. Okay. Let's do that. And then there's some dark under there I don't have. So I'm going to jump right into this. Down here, pull a little more dark in. And this is where I'm going to go underneath this. Watch. Pull this in. Watch this. And I'm going to turn and lay it in. And I just made it look like it's flipping. And then I'll pull back down this way. See that? Just by shoving the dark underneath it. Now, do I want it more pointy up here? Probably. There, see that? That's a whole new way to get to it. And then down this way, and things run into each other when you do this. A lot of things happen when you're painting, guys. All right, watch this, everybody. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this dark and a little bit of alizarin on it. And I got it on one side of the brush, and I'm going to flip it over. So I got one side dark and one side light. Now up here, there's these nice little stamens. And I'm going to press like that and get that dark in a little deeper. See that? Look what I did there. A little more dark on one side and just flipping it over to on the other side. If you don't get enough dark, go back and hit the dark again. So there's one here, and then pull down. And maybe one crisscross like that. They're not all perfect. There's one there. And then pull down this way, flip it over. Let's go over here and do this one. See, dark on one side, light on the other. Then pull down. Here you go, flip it over, and you got dark on one side, light on the other. This time I'm really making sure where my light's coming from. Sometimes you don't do that when you're doing flowers because light could be beaming all over. It's happened. And these just need to be, they're really straight up here. I think I'll improvise one, pretend like I'm nature and I made it up. You see that? All right, so those look pretty good. Now you can go back and you can soften again if you feel that you need to, because things can look very, you know what? Like I said, 2 hours later, the softening business gets much easier. I'm grabbing some of this, and remember those buds? I'm going to do a little bit of light in them too, because they need to pop a little bit. Those buds need something in them. And this I'll just soften back here because it's in the distance. So I'm just going to touch this and make the whole thing look more blurred out because it's far away. Look, soften the edges. Look, you don't know where that is. A little bit on here. A little bit up here. Okay. A little bit there. Try to get a steady hand. Put a little more extra stuff here, guys. Sometimes you just do that and it doesn't look good. You just gotta get a little, now see where all that light showing through? I'll just improvise. See how I pretend that one? And then come down like that. Now, final touches here coming up. Look around, ask yourself the big question. Yeah, I want to soften this a little bit more. And then maybe just drop something in here just as a filler. Sometimes you just want fillers. Just drop things in. Right in here, I probably need a lot more dark. Let me grab a little more dark violet. And it really doesn't loop down like that. It goes this way. It goes like that. Do you see that? So these final corrections, you guys can all do this in your own time. And look how much nicer that looks when you have enough time to get the dark in as you go. Look, you can really come in and make things look nice and really come in with that dark later. Surround these with a little bit more dark before we finish here, guys, because we only have so much time on this. So if you just add this in your own time, you're going to be the happiest painters you ever saw. See how nice that looks? Look, you got to get that dark in to really project the paint. This actually goes this way. Look, come back, go back, and get it in at the last minute. Get your darks in at the last minute. Draw like that. Turn the brush and draw down. If that's too wide, cut that down a little bit. Get some dark in here. But see what the dark's doing? It's really pushing the flower out. Really making the flower jump. Okay? And I'm not making that up because I'm sitting in front of it. Bill Alexander said one thing that was really interesting. He said, without dark, there is no light. So if you don't get that dark in, that's why everybody goes to a black canvas. It's not a mystery. The violet and blue makes a nice ultramarine color. So I want that light to pop. So I'm going to pull it out here. I'm just going to surround it like that. I know we're really short on time here. So let me see if I can go around it. Now, you don't want to damage anything. You know, I stuck the violet in there too, because it has some red. And the violet, if I touch this and I hit that foliage or the petal or whatever, it won't ruin it. So that's why I put the reason why I put the violet in there. Like I said, very forgiving. This one actually goes more around it like this. Look, see, this is the kind of stuff you could do at the very end of your painting, and then turn the brush so it goes down like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is called Daylilies. You can add highlights onto everything. You can put more dark in, more grasses again. But we got the idea up here. And you just want to keep going, like I said, forever and ever. But yeah, let's call this one a technique that you can use and you can really embellish it. And as I'm doing more of this, I can't stop myself, but I have to because we are out of time. In this painting, I was able to bring you some technique that would be very helpful for you. So Daylilies is a painting I would like to see everybody do. And if you want, you could submit your painting to Alexander Art so we can see what you've done. And that way, that'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? So we could see all. Now, somebody did that with the poppies, and I think they were better than mine. They put a lot of baby breath around it, or the tulips, and they put a lot of baby breath around it, and somebody put a bow around it. So if you're out there watching this and you like this painting, go ahead and copy it and submit it to Alexander Art so you guys can see, so we can see what you're doing. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Thank you very much for watching. Everybody have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.